Good evening, everybody. This is the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association quarterly event. We have moved it virtual because of COVID-19. The topic for today is safety and support for contractors. We have a full program from 5:30 to 8 p.m. In order to help you to build your business. So first of all, I'd like to just say hello to everyone. I am working with two computers, so I apologize if I'm kind of bouncing between two screens. And just wanted to say hello. This, again, is the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association in support and collaboration with the Southwest Detroit Business Association, the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the City of Detroit, and my company, Puente Cultural Integration. Today's presentation is supported by Comerica Bank, and we're really grateful for them stepping up during this time of COVID in order to be able to support you better. And so we are going to start. So again, my name is Bridget Espinosa. I am the program manager and consultant for the Hispanic Contractors Association. My assistant, Mayra Orozco. Mayra, raise your hand, wave at everybody. That's Mayra. She's going to be taking attendance, and you can feel free to ask Mayra anything in the chat. So Mayra, if you want to go ahead and start something in the chat so people know that they can reach out to you if they have any questions or concerns or anything, you can just go ahead and direct those to Mayra. And Mayra, if you see something in the chat that we should address, feel free to interrupt, because I'm not necessarily going to see it pop up. Sure. Okay, so we're going to go over the agenda right now. And esto va a ser un evento bilingüe. Nosotros vamos a traducir lo más que se pueda, hacer un resumen de cada parte. I'm going to go over the whole agenda and explain who's going to be speaking, talk to you a little bit about the rules of engagement, what to do, so literally raise your hand if you have a question. Please remain on mute unless you are asked to speak, and there will be spots for questions at the end of each presenter, or you may put a question in the chat. Puedes poner preguntas en el chateo a cualquier momento y Mayra nos va a ayudar con eso. I'm going to introduce shortly here our collaborative partners with the Southwest Detroit Business Association, the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to talk about our programs that we are offering and the support that we're offering for the Michigan Hispanic the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association. Whenever I have to say those two side by side, I always get tongue-tied. And then in addition to that, we have Juan Carlos Perez from Featherstone Moments, who's going to provide some marketing support for us. And then the City of Detroit and our Small Business Advocacy Center will be sharing some information, opportunities, and resources for you. We also have a guest from the Detroit Training Center, who's going to be presenting about their general services and talking to us a little bit about safety. And we have a surprise at the end of their presentation, so I hope that you stick with us. There's going to be a benefit for sticking around through the end of that. And then at the end, between 7:15, 7:45, we're going to be talking with our partners about additional support in finances, banking, and additional resources, including a zero-fee credit card processing system with one of our new members. At the end, if time allows, we are going to do some virtual networking, but in the meantime, you're welcome to do that virtual networking in the chat. So I'd like any of you who have a small business, if you would like to go on to the chat at the bottom of your screen, you might have to hover at the bottom to find it, and introduce yourself and let people know what organization you're with. Robert Dewaelsche, your Zoom name says SDBA Zoom, so you might want to put that in the chat so people can recognize your face with your name. Anybody else, if you'd like to put your name next to your business and provide a website, a phone number, an email, a Facebook page, any kind of a link like that so that people can reach out to you if they're interested in the services that you provide, I think that would be a great way for us to do some virtual networking. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about just when we do virtual meetings. This is not the first virtual meeting we've had, and I think most people know and understand this now, but we're just going to go over this real quick. So if you can, eliminate your distractions, eliminar distracciones. Eso no quiere decir que terminamos con los niños y los animales, pero si están en el fondo, pueden ponerse sin video. You are allowed to change your video selection so that your face is off screen. So if you do need to eat dinner or have a conversation, you can just change your video screen so that we can't see you. Maida, would you show us what that looks like so that you can show how you can go off and on your screen? So she's just going to click on her video, and there she goes off, and then she's going to come back on in just a moment. The mute button also is at the bottom of your screen. Usually right next to your name, there's a little microphone there, and then there's also a blue thing that says unmute. There's also a microphone at the big bottom of the screen typically, so you can click on any of those and go mute and unmute. Maida, would you do me a favor and unmute yourself and say hello to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so that's an example of that. And also, if you would like to interject or say something, Rob is famous for this one. So Rob, I'd like to ask you to literally raise your hand and wave at me if you need to say something. Go ahead. So you can unmute yourself at the same time. Please feel free, if you do have a question, either put it in the chat or wait until the end of the presentation of that person. So we're going to have a time for questions at the end of each portion. Okay, let's introduce Marc Moreno, the Executive Director of the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and Rob Dewaelsche of the Southwest Detroit Business Association. And then I'd also like to give a shout out to our advisory council, if everyone will remind me to do that at the end of the Rob's portion. All right, so here we go. Marc Moreno, you're up.
Thank you, Bridget, and good evening, everyone. It's great to join you for today's virtual gathering and represent the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, especially since I was not able to participate in the Build Your Business program back in February that was hosted at El Kiosco. For those of you that don't know me, I serve as the Executive Director of the MHCC. I took on the leadership role back in January of this year. As a chamber, and more importantly, in collaboration with the SDBA that helped create the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association, we continue to recognize and support the activities and livelihood of the local contractors that make where we live and work safe and inviting. And we do this in a number of ways. We do this particularly by highlighting the HCA Latino construction businesses within our chamber relationships and other relationships that we have within our communities. This can come in the form or context of a simple business referral opportunity, or through helping to provide access to capital or technical or business training and educational opportunities that we and our business partners are seeking to help provide to local contractors. At the end of the day, you know, for us, what matters most is that we're all pulling on the rope in the same direction, promoting the economic advancement of the Hispanic community and our contractors. We're here to help make your jobs doable and help to provide our contractors growth and development opportunities, helping you to become more viable and sustainable businesses. You didn't get into business to get out quickly, and we want to help you, be viable and sustainable. You're a critical piece in the supply chain, of our community. So if you're part of the MI-HCA, thanks for your membership and your confidence in allowing us to help provide you with these resources and opportunities. It's great to be here. Thanks again, Bridget and the whole team. If you'd like to reach me, my contact information is available through Bridget and her team if you want to connect with me personally at any time. So thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So this presentation is going to be published on our website, and it will be emailed out as a link to our membership. And so all of this information will be readily available to everyone who is here. If you're on the call and you did not receive an email from me yesterday from the MI-HCA email address, you can put your email address in the chat, or if you can privately send a private message to Maida. She'll get you on that mailing list tonight, and we'll make sure that you get all this information. Thank you, Marc. We would be remiss if we didn't give a quick shout out to Armando Ojeda, who I just saw just joined us. He was the executive director when we launched this whole thing temporarily and really did an outstanding job. I see that he's not on video, so he can't wave at us. But Armando, if you have something to add or share later on, we would absolutely welcome that. Okay, so we're going to move on to, oh, there you are. Hello, Armando. You can say hello.
Just wanted to say hello to everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Good to hear your voice. I'd love to see your face, though.
Oh, you don't want to see me in my pajamas, so there you go.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that time of day, huh? All right. So, Robert Dewaelsche, you are up.
Great. Thank you, Bridget, and thank you, Marc, for your partnership. I think Bridget's going to say something a little bit later, but this is the 1-year anniversary. Happy birthday to the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association.
I should have had like a little cupcake or something that we could have like put on a candle, right?
We have enough bakeries in Southwest Detroit.
I know.
We should have some tres leche or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was 1 year exactly to the date that we launched the association at the Ideal Group. We had a great turnout then, and we've continued to grow the association. I think to the envy of other business associations and contractor associations that we work with. So that's a tribute to the engagement of the contractors who have checked out the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association. And I think that means that they're finding value in what we do. And we want to continue to provide that value and serve your needs. If you go to the next slide, I just want to talk about the fact that the SDBA has been around for 60 plus years, serving the business community in Southwest Detroit. And when we do that well, it serves the residents of Southwest Detroit as well. So our bottom line is to help you grow your business if that's part of your business goal. We offer a variety of technical assistance and other projects that we undertake as catalysts to further development in Southwest Detroit, everything from small businesses to the larger projects. And right here you see a picture of La Jolla Gardens, which is a 53-unit mixed use, meaning both residential and commercial and community spaces that we are planning to build with our two partner organizations, Sinair and Invest Detroit. And this would be located on what is now vacant land, 1 block east of Clark Park on Verner. And so you see a description here. The biggest takeaway that I want to leave with you is that our last quarterly meeting of the Contractors Association, we had a presentation by the president of O'Brien Construction, which is going to be the GC on this project. And they were definitely looking for local contractor participation. So hopefully you are familiar with O'Brien Construction and can look them up and reach out to them. If you're a contractor that would like to do some work on this project, we will be sharing more information directly, but you should know that O'Brien will be looking for local contractor participation. That's, let's see.
Oh, one last thing. Sorry, I didn't move the slide.
All right, so Bridget said it was okay if I reference that this is kind of a typical day for Bridget in managing all the spinning plates and everything that she does. It's also what small business technical assistance coaches do, and we have a variety of them associated with the SDBA. Everything from forming your business legally to working on business plans, and then a lot of one-on-one business coaching. You're going to hear a little bit more about it from our Small Business Advocacy Center manager, AC Alray. Hopefully you're familiar with him. If not, then you'll hear a little something from AC as well as Bianca Graves, who can talk about getting you qualified to do bigger projects with MDOT, let's say, for instance, or the city of Detroit. So I'll leave it at that. And
thanks, Rob.
Yep, really appreciate your participation tonight.
Right. And we really appreciate the collaboration of all the different entities that have come together to do this. So I would be remiss if I didn't give a quick shout out to everyone who's participated in our advisory council. It is a long list, but I'm just going to mention the people who are on the call currently. So we've got AC Alray and Rob and Marc Moreno, and as I mentioned, Armando Ojeda, who was the executive director previously for the chamber. We've got a Jason on the call, and I'm assuming that's Jason Cole, who has been absolutely instrumental in helping to direct us. And Roberto Torres from the City of Detroit Office of Immigrant Affairs, who has been one of our strongest advocates in getting some funding for some of our lead abatement training and some additional things, projects that we've got working for the future. So we're really excited about everyone. And as additional people join us, I will continue to introduce them. So I'm not going to talk very long right now because we've got a wonderful presenter and we're already a couple minutes behind our prescribed schedule. I think we'll probably be able to make up the time though in a few. So I just wanted to very quickly talk about our membership and services. So nosotros podemos darles servicio bilingüe a cualquier momento que se llama asesoría. Pueden hacer una cita directamente conmigo o con mi ayudante, mi asistente Mayra. Mayra, otra vez si te puedes levantar la mano y mostrarte. Ella es la que me maneja mi calendario. And so I do want to note that we have a new program. The majority of the people who are on the call right now are already currently members. So this doesn't apply to most of you because most of you already are members. But if you are a renewing member or if you would like to become a member, we are giving a total of 90 days of free membership. Your anniversary date would actually not start until August 1st, and that would be the first time that you would receive a bill. It's anywhere from $60 to $500 depending on the size of your company. And all you have to do is go to southwestdetroit.com/membership and learn all of the information. One of our greatest benefits, I believe, is the fact that we have about 115 members, and you will be receiving a database of that membership tomorrow with all of their contact information, emails, phone numbers, and their specialties for those who are in construction. So you'll be able to differentiate whether they are a general contractor, a plumber, an electrician, a landscaper, remodeling, etc. So we have that all categorized. So it's going to be a great list. Actually, it already is. It is already. So it'll be there, and we're going to get going on that. So and once again, happy anniversary to us. So that was my little quick slide there. Okay, I would like to introduce Juan Carlos Perez. He is the owner, principal of Featherstone Marketing. Es de Southwest Detroit y es el mero mero para nosotros hablando de las redes sociales y el mercadeo. So I'm going to let him take it on, and JC, you can introduce yourself and we'll get moving.
Thank you, Bridget. Really quick, whenever it's time to go to the next slide, I'll just say next. And also, if you're able to give me access to share my screen so that I can share a good example of somebody doing good on social media.
Yeah, I think, I believe, let me just double check what I've got here.
Okay, thank you. That's okay. If you
I might have to go back and forth, but yeah,
all right.
Well, we can figure it out.
All right. So, hi, everybody. My name is Juan Carlos, and I have been the owner of Featherstone Moments for 5 years in August. We do integrated marketing and public relations. And that basically means that we believe that in order to be able to sell, we don't just use one or two channels like social media or like websites. It's a combination of multiple things that allow businesses to thrive. No, go back.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Just so you know, I only have 3 things that I'm going to talk about really quickly. So if you have any questions at any point, we're going to have Q&A at the end, okay? Buenas tardes a todos. Me llamo Juan Carlos. Y en agosto van a ser 5 años que soy el dueño de Featherstone Moments. Somos una compañía de mercadotecnia integrada, lo cual significa, y relaciones públicas, lo cual significa que para poder alcanzar algo, no solamente utilizamos un canal como medios sociales o como sitio de internet, utilizamos una serie de canales y de plataformas para poder tener éxito. Solamente voy a hablar de 3 cosas y después de la presentación va a haber espacio para preguntas y respuestas. Next. All right, so
we're going to have a kind of a conversation here. So Juan Carlos and I are going to kind of talk with you a little bit. So Juan Carlos, I know one of the things when we're starting a new business, or even if you've had a business for a while, you may not be on every platform, but how do you claim your business
So
if you Google yourself and you want to find it?
yeah, for sure. So essentially, to be able to claim your business or to be able to use your platforms, you have to claim your business. On Google and Yelp, it's a little different than on Facebook and Instagram, as well as other platforms. But for Google, you have to go to www.business.google.com. And there you are going to be prompted with a couple of questions. If you look up your business, there's going to be a little section that says claim your business in its listing. And if it's not listed, then you can just create an account and just add it manually. Same thing.
Do you want to share your screen for this portion?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm going to stop my share and go ahead and see if you can boot me off, because if not, I'll just stop and we can keep going back and forth.
So it doesn't say. It says you cannot share screen while other participants share.
Okay. All right, so go ahead. That's all you.
And here we go. All right. Can you guys see my screen? So if you go to business.google.com, you're going to come into this particular thing right here in the back end. And this is when you already have your account set. But if you don't have your account set and you're starting from scratch, let's say that you look up a business one more time, .google.com, then you're going to be coming into this area right here where you have to sign in with your Google account, and then you'll be able to take the very next steps. Para poder pedir su negocio en Google, tienen que venir a business.google.com y después tienen que apuntarse, entrar a su cuenta. Una vez que entran a su cuenta, tienen la posibilidad de... I don't want to show you guys my... Oh, there we go.
Yep, it doesn't show it.
Okay. So, una vez que entran a su cuenta, tienen la posibilidad de poder agregar aquí de estas localidades. So, right here, you can add locations. Add single location, or you can import locations if you have them in a spreadsheet and you have multiple locations. Very similar for Facebook. It's business.facebook.com, where you can create a business account with Facebook. And for Yelp, you go to biz.yelp.com, and then same thing, you're able to come in, either manage my free listing or log in if you already have an account. All right, and stop sharing screen, and all yours. Back to you,
All right,
Bridget.
give me a second, and I will find where I was.
There's one thing that hay algo que quiero decir. Before I forget, Instagram and every single other platform work a little different. Instagram in itself started off as a platform for artists to be able to sell work, and it's mostly image driven. And so unless you have a lot of images that you're able to share constantly, I would say you don't even need to worry about Instagram.
Right.
Instagram empezó como una plataforma para artistas para que vendan su trabajo en el 2012. Y si es que no van a estar compartiendo muchísimas fotos continuamente, les recomendaría que maybe no tengan que tener Instagram, simplemente con las otras.
Okay. All right. So, so one question we have a lot is, this is another job, right? Managing social media, and this is quite literally what you and I do for a living, right? We manage other people's social media platforms. But the question is, when it's my own business, how often do I need to be present online? How many times do I have to be posting on Facebook? How many posts a day should I be on Instagram? What about my website? How often should I be updating that? Can you help us a little bit and figure that out?
So when it comes specifically to social media, I would say that you should be posting is entirely up to you. Every time that you post, if you have an audience, then you're able to basically let those audiences see your work or see whatever it is that you're posting. Whether it's,
what's a good rule of thumb, though? What's a good rule of thumb?
I would say that a minimum of once every 3 days, but it's not particularly always healthy, because if you're not posting the great content once every 3 days, it doesn't matter if you post every day or every week, like people are not gonna come to you. It's more look. The more important thing is posting quality content.
Okay, so quality over quantity.
Yes.
And can you
Yes.
post too much?
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us
Sorry.
a little bit about that.
Yeah. No. Yes, you can post too much, and that you're going to have to rely on your audiences to be able to tell you. And they're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna stop, like interacting with your posts.
Okay, there you go.
Cada cuánto tengo que estar posteando en Facebook o en medios sociales. Todo depende de ustedes. Puede ser una vez a la semana, pueden ser todos los días, pero lo más importante es no cada cuándo, sino qué tan padre y cuál es la calidad de su contenido. Si es que ponen todos los días algo, pero su contenido no es de calidad, entonces la verdad es que no importa. Es mejor que pongan menos contenido, que sea de calidad, y no tiene que ser calidad como like fotografías profesionales, sino contenido que le llame la atención a la gente, a sus audiencias. Y ustedes van a saber quiénes son y qué es lo que más les gusta. Y también corren el riesgo de que sí pueden estar posteando de más. Y eso lo van a ver cuando sus audiencias dejen de interactuar con ustedes.
All right. Okay, so that's a good segue into the next question, which is, what should I be posting? I think a lot of businesses feel like their photographs need to be professional, like they don't want to put things that don't fully represent how professional they want to be, and therefore they just stop posting. I know I've had that same problem myself with my own business page, that I feel like if I don't have really high quality content, that I'm not even going to bother posting. So what types of content is the most engaging? What gets the best response from customers?
So there's a couple of things. Each platform is created very differently, and there's not necessarily, a list of what content is best and worst. Each platform has different tools that it allows, and it's kind of like going to the bank, right? If you go to the bank and you use the bank's debit card or credit card, the bank is going to like it. But if you go to the bank and you're not using their card, they're going to be like, you can probably go like somewhere else or something, right? So basically, whatever platform you're going to, use the tools that they are giving you to use. And
Can you give me some examples?
Yeah, if you are on Facebook, there's a couple of things that are really cool. Live streaming is one of them, which is not available on LinkedIn, nor is it available on Twitter. You can use stories on Instagram because those are native to Instagram, and particularly stories are really important because that was Instagram's way of flicking off Snapchat when they decided not to sell back in 2014 or 13. And also, so you would go essentially from like having stories and live streams to having videos to having photos and like photo albums to having just text. But the one thing that I want to point out is that no platform, maybe LinkedIn, but no platform likes flyers. No platform likes having a ton of text all over the place, especially text or text graphics that are not well designed.
Okay, so how do we get across, like, so if we're a business owner, this is a construction event, right? So if I'm a construction company, how do I advertise my business? Because that's the traditional way of doing things, right? Is to create a flyer with your list of services. Yeah. And to before we used to put it in mailboxes or in doors, right? But now I think more of that's happening on social media. So what's a better way for, let's say, a landscape company or a plumbing company to be able to say, hey, these are the list of services that I do, and have it readily available to their customers?
So, can you, like, antes de eso, déjame regreso a contestar la pregunta en español.
Perdón.
And then, like, ya contesto las dos en los dos idiomas.
Perfecto.
So, antes que nada, a la hora de estar poniendo contenido, creo que es muy importante que tomen en cuenta qué plataforma están utilizando. Por ejemplo, si es que van al banco y el banco, like, sacan una tarjeta de débito o una tarjeta de crédito con su banco va a querer que utilicen su tarjeta de crédito o de débito. De la misma manera, si es que están utilizando Facebook quiere que ustedes utilicen las herramientas que ya les provee. Instagram, lo mismo, LinkedIn, igual. So, más que nada, pueden utilizar, por ejemplo, en Facebook, live streaming, cuando hacen videos en vivo, o videos o historias en Instagram. So, like, empezarían desde donde hay movimiento, que serían en videos y en historias, hasta, like, bajen un poquito a lo que son fotografías de calidad o incluso, like, álbumes de fotos en donde puedan verlos a ustedes como personas. Después de ahí, texto, solamente texto. Pero el único contenido que a ninguna plataforma le gusta, maybe si acaso a LinkedIn, son los volantes con mucho texto. En especial volantes que no están bien diseñados. Volantes que están demasiado, like, tienen muchísimo. Moviéndonos a la próxima pregunta, sorry, Bridget, which one was the next question?
So my question.
Oh, el ejemplo.
Yeah, ejemplo.
Okay, so ejemplo, ¿qué es lo que, can I share my screen, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so un ejemplo de alguien que maybe puedan ver para ver qué es lo que hace, y es con permiso de él, es David Orozco de Beast Construction. En sí, en su cuenta de Facebook, tiene varias cosas. Tiene a lo que, oh wait, can you guys see ¿sí pueden ver mi?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So pueden ver cuál es su experiencia, pueden ver cómo comunicarse con él, pueden ver, like, una página, like, más profesional, pero también pueden ver el trabajo que está. Aquí está el sitio de internet y eso fue hace 3 horas, eso fue hace 6 horas y de hecho, like, esto que está haciendo David de hacerles un shout out a otros negocios les ayuda. Porque por decir aquí Catholic Alliance Credit Union, después de que vayan a ver esto, lo más probable es que van a venir y van a compartir este post en sus páginas. Por lo tanto,
And actually, Alliance actually shared his post on their page. So
yeah,
that's huge. I mean, think about the audience that Alliance Catholic Credit Union has.
Yeah.
And they shared Beast Construction, with their thousands and thousands of followers. So it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, pero por decir, viendo estas imágenes, ¿verdad? Estas son imágenes de ángulo, like, amplio, en la cual pueden ver cómo están las cosas y pueden ver, prácticamente cuando están trabajando. Hay videos que tienen un logotipo para que nadie se los vaya a quitar. Pueden ver el portafolio de David y de Beast Construction aquí en Facebook. Lo único que yo recomiendo, before I go, whenever you come to David Orozco and Beast Construction, you can find a couple of things. First, you can find the experience. You can find how to get a hold of him. And then you can also see some of the work that he's done. He includes the website in here.
That literally just got posted today. He created his website today. So this is super
Really?
exciting. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. He's also sharing content to shout out other businesses in the area. And so in this particular case, Alliance Catholic Credit Union already shared his content on their feed. And then lastly, there's other things like, wide angle photos that show the work that they're doing or whatever it is that they're working on. I do like this right here that he uses emojis. The thing about emojis is not the emoji itself. It's the psychology of color difference that makes you stop and look just because there's an emoji. And then lastly, he also has videos that show, like what's going on and the portfolio and what, like, they're working on. So you can stay connected with them. And I also think that from a couple of things that I saw, they do reply. And so the only thing that I can offer is that maybe what David could do is, for example, look at getting a actual professional or a business page, so that whenever they have a business page, they are able to keep track of particular things. And this is with permission of the SDBA that I can show you, but you can look not just at, like how many people are liking your post. You can also look at how many people are liking your post and how many people are engaging with your page in general. And so you can go and backtrack information to be very specific to help you, like, for example, these are the likes. And over time, you can see that we've grown, particularly, like, going up. And so this is also something that can help you decide, like, what's a really good event or when particular things are working out based on different spikes and so on. Lo único que recomendaría a David es que maybe en vez de tener una página personal, pueda tener una página de negocio en donde pueda ver diferentes detalles y estadísticas que le puedan ayudar a crear su negocio, su contenido un poco diferente. Y poder medir cierto crecimiento basado en tiempo. Y esto se los estoy mostrando con permiso de la SDBA, pero por decir aquí hay ciertas cosas que nos ayudan a nosotros a poder hacer decisiones de cosas que queremos cambiar. And that is...
JC, could you, actually, I was just going to have you share something from the, a video to show the difference in engagement between a flyer post and a video post. So that was something that shocked me. Just to kind of share from a personal level, I hate doing videos. I like doing these live events, but recording myself, I would redo it 12 times and then I still wouldn't be happy. And so I just wasn't doing it. And Juan Carlos finally convinced Maida and Alyssa and me and Juan Gutierrez to create some videos. And I was shocked. I mean, it was like 4,000% more engagement with a video than it was from a
so I'll show you. Basically, oh no. So, les voy a enseñar bien rápido una de las cosas que hemos aprendido a través de diferentes videos. Sorry, I was not prepared to be able to answer this.
No, don't worry about it then. That's okay, JC. You don't have to
no, but I think it's important for them to see, particularly because I already came up with an analogy that is really helpful. So, por ejemplo, aquí, esta es nuestra página de anuncios. Estos son anuncios digitales que nosotros creamos. Esto de aquí son lo que pueden ver flyers, que muchas veces yo como gerente o manejador de contenido, regularmente pido cosas que no tengan muchísimo de este
texto.
Texto. Y por decir con estos videos, les puedo mostrar que esto de aquí, poder pagar 1 centavo por engagement, lo cual significa que mucha más gente va a ver el contenido. Esto está mucho debajo de los estándares de cuánto deberían de estar pagando por engagement, por anuncio. So basically what I'm saying is right now, right here, based on the performance of this, which didn't even give us enough information to be able to show how text flyers work in comparison to paying 1 cent for engagement per video. And this is, by the way below benchmark. Normally for something on Facebook, engagement on Facebook, you have to pay between depending on the post or the type of industry that you have, anywhere between 20 cents to 60 cents. And this is way below average and way below what a lot of people pay.
It helps that you had a beautiful model in that particular
I did. I've always, I've had phenomenal and beautiful models, yes. So, más que nada, esta es información para mostrarles que el contenido que en donde hay movimiento, más funciona mucho mejor que cualquier otra cosa. Content with movement works much better than anything else.
So I would like to encourage everybody to make a 30-second video, a 10-second video. It does not have to be anything major. It could be just introducing yourself. It could be giving a shout out to another business. So sometimes when we're doing it not for ourselves, that's always helpful. And so that's just something I would like to really encourage everyone to do that. So it has made a huge difference in our ability to communicate with our clients. So, all right, last one. And that is,
so
right?
Yeah, so por último, una de las cosas que la gente tiende a olvidar es que ustedes, como negocios de construcción, tienden a hacer negocios que hacen comerciantes de negocio a negocio, lo cual es muy importante no perder en cuenta o tomar en cuenta que su inversión más grande es en construir relaciones con otras personas, no usar medios sociales. So, usen medios sociales, pero recuerden, sigan construyendo sus relaciones. More than anything, you guys as construction businesses, people, I want to just emphasize that people tend to forget that you guys may be B2B businesses. So you serve other businesses, and the biggest asset that you have is building relationships, not just using social media. So as you use social media, you just keep that in mind, and don't forget to focus on those relationships. Okay?
And I'd like to just,
yeah.
say one thing too. And some of the most successful businesses that I've spoken with, and we actually have Jimmy the plumber online. I think he's working because I can see some tools in the background, so I think he's just listening to this. But one of the things that he has shared with me is that he has done such a great job in building relationships with his customers, long-term customers, and with other contractors, that he doesn't have to advertise at all. He spends $0 on marketing because he is busy all the time, more than he can handle just from referrals. And so I think that's an important part of the construction company, the construction business. Let us help you with that. That's part of the job of this association, is to help you to build those relationships. And as soon as we can get in the same room together safely, we will continue to do these big networking events where we have hundreds and 150 people in the room. So, okay, well, so thank you, Juan Carlos. I appreciate everything. Let's give him a little virtual applause. But if anybody has any questions, we can go ahead, and you are welcome to ask those questions now. Maida, was there anything in the chat?
Besides me being related to Beast Construction, no.
Yes, she is related to Beast Construction, but that was actually a coincidence, which I thought was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so we will continue to move on.
Okay.
And if you have any questions for Juan Carlos, feel free to put them in the chat, and we will continue to do that. For those of us who joined us late, we are going to use the chat for our networking portion. So if you want to introduce yourself in the chat, you can say your name, your company, if you have a website or a Facebook page that you'd like to share with the community. If you have an email address, if you're not receiving our emails, you can share that directly with Maida, tag her in it, or send her a private message in regards to that. And we'll continue to network digitally in between each thing. So please don't hesitate to post a question at any time. All right, so the next thing that I'm just gonna bring up real briefly here is a little bit about the Southwest Detroit Business Association and the Michigan Hispanic Contractors Association with our dual membership. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a promotion right now for free dual membership, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about what are the benefits of that you can get actually for free even right now. So there, we have business-to-business social media discounts. So Juan Carlos and another one of our members, so I'm going to introduce in about 2 seconds here, Paula, so you're on deck, will support you in your social media setup or evaluation, and they can also help you build your website. One of the ideas that we had for people who don't have a website but maybe would like to have a small website is we can offer you a one-page, like a landing page on our southwestdetroit.com, and you can do it /my business, like Beast Construction, for example. If he hadn't built his own page, it could have been southwestdetroit.com /Beast Construction. So if you're interested in that, just let me know and I will make that referral. The other thing that we do a lot of is we market for our members. So if you have something that you would like to share with other contractors, with our following, we have a growing following on Facebook. All you have to do is tag us. It's MI-HCA.org on Facebook, and we'll share your post, or you can email it to me, email it to Maida, and we'll share it that way. The other thing that we can do is share an e-blast. If you are a member and you have a product, a service, a flyer, something that you'd like to do, we will be able to do that. There are going to be additional membership benefits throughout the presentation tonight, including a discount code for the builder's license class at the DTC. So stick around for a little bit. I know this is a long event. Feel free to pop in and pop out, but I'd like to do that. So last thing, I would like to introduce Paula Andrinen. Paula, if you can unmute yourself and just do a quick little introduction about what you can do, and then we'll move on.
Sure. So my name is Paula Anderanin, and I have been building websites and e-commerce websites for a long time, over 10, 15 years now. But anyways, what I really look at is figuring out first, what are the highlights of your business? So understanding, what are the number one items that you, for example, if you do construction and you're a general constructor, what kind of projects you mostly work on, and then we kind of figure out the best way to lay out what we call user experience, so trying to kind of guide the person to navigate through all the services that you provide, have a really good portfolio of your example, of your work. And I can actually, if you don't mind, Bridget, I can share the screen, just a couple things that while you were talking, I was thinking of functionality that would be useful to see.
All yours.
Okay, so let's see. Share screen. All right, so I'm going to do this here. I also got two monitors, so I'm going to switch over to the other one. So can you guys see the screen? So here actually, here's an example that you can look at later on more. This is actually in the SDBA website. But I like this kind of thing for construction as well, because this is the facade improvement program. Yeah, facade. And actually, I'm going to break in Spanish too. Right after. So este es un ejemplo de un tipo de websites que se puede utilizar para compañías de construcciones. La razón que muestro este ejemplo, de vuelta, esto es solamente una porción de lo que sería en la página que tendría uno, pero me gusta esto porque muestra, por ejemplo, que se puede poner un video, que se puede grabar, por ejemplo, en diferentes momentos de la construcción, ¿no es cierto? Se puede crear como algo parecido así, ¿no es cierto? Y también me gusta esto, por ejemplo, que muestra el before and after. Se muestra como el antes y después. So this example I really like to show for construction because it really it shows an individual of, the before and after progress. And again, this is just a facade, the outside of the building, but this could be done for interiors and things like that. And it's very practical. It works well with mobile as well too. So it works for somebody that might be looking at it on their mobile phone or iPad. And I had done this kind of similar technique for another of the members actually from SDBA. And, we set up, a photo gallery, obviously. And then as you go into the services, you can kind of break down the type of services provided. And again, do a very quick kind of before and after to show the type of construction and detail, that goes into each project. So
yeah, so Paula, thank you I'm glad you showed this one too. So Angel Upholstery is one of our new members, and this is something that, we helped him formalize his business, pick him from, somebody who's been working in his garage for I think 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken, and brought him online, right? And so, Paula, can you talk to us really quick, just maybe give you another 30 seconds or a minute or so, about why is it so important to have an online presence, especially today in the time of COVID, where we're working from home and not out in the streets the same?
Yeah, and you brought a really good point. I think if anything from this pandemic that we had, it was to really show that businesses do have to have another presence when they're not able to be there. That's critical. Una de las cosas muy importantes que, obvio, ahora los negocios, y lo hemos notado ahora que uno no puede estar presente o yendo a tantos eventos, es de poder seguir trabajando cuando uno está en su casa. Y eso se hace cuando con una página web, por ejemplo. No solamente es bueno para poder darle la información a alguien para que vea su reputación, su experiencia, su portfolio en línea, pero también para poder seguir atrayendo a clientes nuevos a través de tener una website, que eso ayuda a tener una presencia en Google y para poder compartir contenido en social media, etc. Eso ayuda muchísimo para eso. So one of the things why it's important to obviously having the website is because it's not only important to be able to continue to work while you're not able to go network and be present at different events like before. It really also helps out for attracting new customers. When you build a website, you have the opportunity to highlight projects and highlight services and regions as well too. So you can pick up a lot new clients through organic search and also through paid search, and having the opportunity to share this content in social media as well too. So it's very important.
And that would kind of solve the problem that Juan Carlos and I were talking about. Like, let's talk about like a landscaping company, right? So they frequently will have those flyers, mailers that they put out. Those don't perform well on social media, but you could put that on your website and share your web page, which would give them additional contact information, and that might perform a little bit better. So one last thing that we're going to talk about way at the end of our program, about 7:30 or so. Jared Spar is here from Zero Fee 123, one of our newer members as well, and he is going to talk to you about how you can start moving some of your payments online. And that, I think, is going to be an interesting integration. And so Paula, Jared, and I are going to be working on a workshop for July. I think we just determined to be able to talk about that whole website integration. So if this is a topic that interests you, we will be doing another workshop specifically on this topic in July at our Savor Second Tuesday at noon. Maida, would you do me a favor and put that date and time and the Zoom link from the last Savor, it's the same as before, in the chat, and people can add those right to their calendar for June and July, please. Thank you. Okay, so Paula, if you want to unshare your screen, and I'm going to share mine again. All right, thanks. So we are not doing too bad here. We're about less than 10 minutes behind, which isn't bad, all things considered.